If you guys know my roots on YouTube, that I started with a very Apple-biased tech channel, then you know I'm a pretty big fan of both Tesla and Apple. And honestly, I kind of find it a huge shame that these two companies that share a lot of core ideologies, and a lot of people see tons of similarities between the two brands, oftentimes Tesla being credited as the Apple of the car industry. Apple says, you don't need a headphone jack, or you don't need a home button anymore, and Tesla says, you don't need gear stalks, you don't need a full steering wheel anymore. They take those types of innovative approaches that I love seeing tech companies do, where they push the boundaries and not just think about what can we add, what can we come up with, but also what do we not need, what can we remove, as it does not serve a purpose in today's world anymore. And at the same time, these two companies have had a lot of bad blood towards each other. There really hasn't been much collaboration between the two, and you'd think by now there'd be some type of major partnership going on where Apple's helping design a lot of the infotainment on Tesla software, or Tesla would be using Apple Music or Apple Maps integrated into their apps, which I've seen a ton of people request, as there's probably a huge number of iOS users that are also Tesla owners. And it's a shame, really, that because of Apple's self-driving car project, they've been poaching a lot of former Tesla employees. Elon Musk has been fairly open about this, saying that in the past, when Tesla was facing hard times, they wanted to meet with Tim Cook about selling Tesla to Apple. And we also know that Apple tried to buy Tesla way back in 2013. The companies have definitely had a history with each other, and it seems like none of the deals they've ever wanted to go through ever actually end up going through, and that's just resulted in this lack of cooperation for the end consumer, which I think would be really beneficial, whether it be features like Car Key or Apple's own services being directly integrated into Tesla's software, and the fact that Apple wants to be known for this company that is adopting environmental practices and wants to be carbon neutral by 2030 and wants to take the drastic steps necessary to become a more environmentally friendly company. They're willing to take a lot of steps that other smartphone makers aren't. You would think that would go pretty much hand in hand with Tesla. Good news is, Apple might be opening up the doors to Tesla a little bit as time has gone by, and now I think it's become pretty obvious with Tesla in the S&P 500. They're too big to be bought out, and they're also way too profitable and way too successful for any company to really make an offer that Tesla would see as worth it, because a lot of people have now pretty much been convinced Tesla's going to be here for the long haul. They've secured their future, and whether it's through Bitcoin purchases or buying their own factories that can become pretty profitable in a quick amount of time, Tesla is no longer up for sale. I don't really see that happening at all. And Apple, at this point, is not really sure if they want to enter the automotive space, and honestly, I think it's kind of too late. I know there's a lot of people that are convinced Apple will eventually enter the EV space, or at least partner with another EV brand, maybe buy out a company like Lucid, or maybe just work on full self-driving technology, and maybe be more about the in-car experience than building the car itself, and they just want to focus on interior and that kind of thing. Either way, the future of the Apple car is not super certain, so it's actually really exciting to see Tim Cook, Apple CEO, who I think has been an amazing leader for Apple, knowing that he took it right off the hands of Steve Jobs and is able to build a very, very successful empire, and is now trying to pivot the company towards services, which I find a bit less exciting, but at the same time very financially wise for the company as a whole. He was recently on a podcast where he gave a lot of credit to Tesla, saying that he's never talked with Elon, but he's been very, very impressed with how they've not only been able to become a leader in the EV space, but also retain that leadership for an extended period of time. So I thought it was cool to finally see Tim Cook saying some nice things about Tesla, because I'm a big Apple fan, I'm a huge Tesla fan, and to see him actually publicly acknowledging that Tesla is a leader in the EV space and also has been for a long time, I find really encouraging, because there are plenty of people out there, especially Bill Gates, who has done lots of different environmental studies and that kind of thing, and kind of notably, sometimes intentionally left out references to Tesla. And there's lots of different companies that, when they talk about the transition to electric, like to pretend that Tesla doesn't exist, either because they're too powerful or Elon Musk is too much of a wild card that people don't want to acknowledge its existence. So to finally have a CEO from a major company saying like, hey, Tesla is the best, and they've been the best for a while, I find pretty exciting. And also, I know some people think the Apple car is around the corner, but if it really was, I don't think Tim Cook would be saying things like that. Imagine if right before the Apple Watch launched, he was like, yeah, man, Fitbit is just the best, and no one has been able to beat them. It would not be something I think a CEO would say if they planned on revealing their own car within the next couple years or so. Again, it could happen. I might be wrong, but I personally think that if Apple really wanted to enter enter the EV space, they would have done it by now. And the fact that they haven't done it yet is evidence that they don't really plan on doing it, and partner with some other automotive brand and have CarPlay and CarKey work really, really well, but Apple doesn't take the risk of actually manufacturing their vehicles and selling them. And the other great partnership we're seeing now with Apple and Tesla for the first time is Apple is buying one of the largest mega packs of all time from Tesla. So in the paperwork, they did not specifically mention Tesla, but doing some more close research from the grapevine, we can actually see that Tesla will be providing the battery packs that Apple plans on using for their headquarters in Cupertino. And this is going to end up being a great power source for not just them, but everybody in the area, which Apple cares a lot about using renewable energy and wants to make sure that their whole campus is completely solar powered. And eventually they want their supply chains to do that. And it's great to see that through buying battery packs from Tesla, they want to achieve a carbon neutral future within the next decade. And knowing that they're willing to buy batteries from Tesla, I find pretty encouraging, because these two companies have more in common than they'd like to admit, and for the longest time have just kind of been at gridlock with each other of like, no, I don't like Tesla, or no, I don't like Apple, and they kind of want to go against each other, but I really wish they could work a lot more together with each other. And seeing Tim Cook praise them openly on a public podcast, I find really encouraging. And also Apple being willing to buy huge amounts of batteries, one of the biggest mega packs ever from Tesla, proves to me that, okay, these companies can get along. Hopefully they can put their differences aside, they can put their past in the past, and hopefully that means that we could get some eventual software integration where Teslas start incorporating iMessage or FaceTime or that kind of thing. Because I have to imagine there's a ton of Apple employees out there that probably own and drive Teslas, and there's a lot of iOS and Apple features that they wish their car could have, but it doesn't, because that whole Tesla-Apple partnership really hasn't happened, although I agree it should. Not necessarily saying CarPlay needs to take over the entire software for Tesla, because I do think it would be a tad weird having two different companies try to work on a piece of software together, but utilizing Apple services, whether it be Apple Maps or Apple Music, or Apple helping design an app store for Tesla that would allow a secure and encrypted way for third parties to develop games and applications that can be installed onto Teslas. All kinds of things I think Apple could help Tesla with. And also, when it comes to renewable energy and becoming a carbon neutral company by 2030, there's a ton of things I think Tesla could help Apple with, whether it be supplying solar panels or supplying more battery packs like this. So in the future, I'd love to see a potential thing of like all the vehicles that are moving iPhones and Apple products to different Apple stores are going to be powered by Tesla semis, and that kind of partnership can help them both become more environmentally friendly and achieve both their mission statements. So what do you guys think? Should Apple and Tesla be working together on more stuff, or do you think I'm wrong for assuming these two companies can actually coexist? Do they have to be enemies? Do they have to be fighting each other? I know a lot of the time we like to assume Apple and Tesla are competitors, but if we take a step back and look at their mission statements and look at the products they're developing, they really don't compete in that many markets with each other. So why be enemies? Just become awesome friends that can help each other. Feel free to let me know what you're thinking. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.